Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends that are shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Meena Pandya, the Community Fundraising Team Leader at Grove Cottage. Meena, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me, James. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And also, I wanted to say a personal thank you. When I said that I was going to be doing a podcast, you were one of the very first people to jump on and lend your support. So I just want to say thank you for that little boost of enthusiasm to get everything going. For those of us who don't know you yet and what Grove Cottage is all about, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
So we are, as you can see behind me, if you can see the banner behind me, some images of our members. So we are based in Bishop Stortford, as you say. We provide social and educational activities for people of all ages with learning disabilities and special additional needs. We are affiliated with MenCap, but we receive no funding from them. So we are an independent organisation that supports our members.
So you're specifically local to Bishop Stortford in the work that you're doing?
We are. We're based at 151 London Road. So right in the centre of the town. We've been there for just shy of 60 years. So July next year will be our 60th birthday. We're rebuilding our building at the moment. So the local people to Bishop Stortford will have seen our building being demolished and being rebuilt, which should be finished later on this year. But we accept, in terms of our members, we accept anyone that can get to Grove Cottage, can physically get to Bishop Stortford. So we have members from Bishop Stortford, but also from the local villages and Essex as well.
Right, okay. And what is the work that you're supporting with and helping with?
So, as I said, we provide support for members with learning disabilities and special additional needs. Our youngest member will be in our Send nursery, which when we reopen, our nursery will be moving back to 151 London Road. And our oldest member is, in their 70s, 80s. So it really, we support members throughout their lifetime. And in fact, we have adult members that are with us that started in nursery. The facilities that we provide, so as well as the Send nursery, we provide speech and language therapy. So we have a SLT on site. Our members are enjoying activities in and around the community. So we are very, very community focused. So our adult members, you'll see them at Thirst Café on a Thursday morning. You'll see them enjoying, clubs around the town. You'll see them having a pint of Guinness in the Wetherspoons when they're out with their friends and their mentors. We have a club at South Mill Arts. We have a performing arts club. We have what we call a MMP, so performing arts. We're actually part of a network of Music Man Project members. So it's actually a sort of a UK and a global movement, and we are Music Man Project Hertfordshire. So our members love music. They love playing instruments. Music is magic. So yeah. So we do a whole range of social and educational support for our members.
Today's podcast is brought to you by a great local business helping people take back their time in Bishop Stortford. If your weekends are getting swallowed by cleaning instead of time with your family, I get it. As a dad of two young boys, I know how fast those moments can go, and I've been let down by cleaners before. That's why I use Time For You Cleaning. They're reliable, friendly, and give you one less thing to worry about. If you want your time back, head to timeforyou.cleaning and let them know the podcast sent you. Get back your precious time and support local. Right, back to the show. It's great that, as you were saying, the community aspect of things, getting out in the community and adding to the Bishop Stortford community bits. Do you know the story of, what started Grove Cottage? What was the spark behind that?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we're coming up to our 60th birthday.
Yeah.
There's lots of information on our website if your listeners and viewers want to head over to mencapgrovecottage.org. Our history is on there. But yes, so 60 years ago, a set of founding parents were looking for somewhere to get together. They had children with learning disabilities and they were looking for somewhere to meet, and Grove Cottage basically was born. So it started off by founding parents before it became a registered charity.
Right, okay.
So one of the sort of the prolific members of this family group was a gentleman called Stanley Crabb, and his son Brian Crabb was one of our first members. Brian actually left Grove Cottage, the Crabb family estate, when sadly he passed away a few years ago. So this is how it was over £1 million. So this is how we've managed to start our rebuild capital project to rebuild Grove Cottage. It was the perfect way to recognise that legacy from the Crabb family. And we would never have been able to kind of kickstart such a huge capital project that's cost over just over 2.6 million. Right. So we got that initial sort of start from the Crabb family.
That's incredible that the family's been involved for that period of time, and you know, a touching tribute to them, the fact that you're going through that rebuild. And I think most people in Stortford would have seen that. And what have you got a date yet about when that's going to be finished?
So we are looking at the end, towards the end of September, of the building becoming ours, you know, being handed to us.
Yeah.
By the people that are building it, the developers. But then, of course, we've got a few hop, skips and jumps to get to the point where our members can come back in. Because we run a special educational needs nursery, Ofsted will need to come in and do all of their checks to make sure that we're ready to open. We need to train our staff. We've got new equipment and things like that. So we'll need to do risk assessments and get our staff trained up before we can properly occupy the buildings. We're thinking of phased return of services, starting off with the nursery. And by the end of the year, we'll be fully up and running with all of our members back in and running all of our different activities from our new facility.
Wonderful. Now, before we pressed record, you were explaining to me a little bit about your role is getting out into the community and generating income for the charity. You've got some innovative ways that you do that. Can you talk through some examples of what you've been doing recently?
Absolutely. We are incredibly busy on our fundraising team. You might find me at weekend or various places, but you might find me quite a lot in Jackson Square. We are Charity of the Year for a number of very generous community and corporate organisations, but Jackson Square Shopping Centre is one of them. The fabulous team, Michael and Hayley, you probably know James at Jackson Square. So we are their Charity of the Year. So you will find me and my colleague Alison in Jackson Square quite a lot. You might see me dressed as a banana dancing with our performers and things like that. Our members will be, like I mentioned, our member Rob, who sells his art. So we were there last Thursday. So Jackson Square has actually been really, really so fantastic for us this year, really helping us to raise awareness of the charity this year, which is brilliant. We have lots and lots of community and corporate supporters around the town, local businesses that support us. So I mentioned, I think, that we run one of our member groups is at South Mill Arts in the town. So we have our performing arts group there. They're fantastic. We also run groups at the Baptist Church. In the fundraising team, we'll be at the Methodist Church doing sales. We've been there a couple of Saturdays. But we do ask our community to get involved in running their own fundraising events. So if you go on to @Grove Cottage Mencap on our socials, you will see there's a very special thing coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've just had quite a few people skydive for us, which is fantastic. So I'll do some name checks. So Yvonne at Meadowbrook Care Home in Bishop Stortford, Becky, who works for Downhall. She's a customer relationship manager there. Downhall, we are their Charity of the Year, and so we had a team from Meadowbrook, Becky as well. We have marathon runners. So we've got spaces. We're inviting people to run the marathon for us next year, if anyone would like to run the marathon. We had a couple of marathon runners run for us last year. In September, we are going to be doing a walk, a 13-mile walk for Grove Cottage. This is in partnership with Helping Hearts. They do fantastic work. We're all involved in supporting children in Hertfordshire and young adults in Hertfordshire. So we're one of the 12 charities. So the Bishop Stortford leg of the walk is kind of owned by Grove Cottage. So it starts at 9 in the morning. I'm going to do a plug now, James. 9:30 in the morning from Tesco's at Bishop's Park. We'll be joined by our Mayor, Richard Townsend, to send us off. There'll be some music, and we're going to be doing a 13-mile loop, goes around and then goes to we sort of stop at the Catherine Wheel, and Matt, the manager of the Catherine Wheel, is providing some refreshments. So there's kind of refreshments all the way, and then we come back. But it is a lovely walk, and it's 27th of September. Touch wood, let me find some. It's been perfect weather the last few years that we've done this. Absolutely beautiful sunshine. So if anyone would like to come and join us, it's an open invite to community groups, to corporate, business and their staff. So yeah, please come and join us.
Well, Mina, you've done my work for me. You've explained everything that you're doing at the moment and some upcoming activities. We'll put links to all of these in the show notes so that if people are interested and want to get involved and want to support the work that you're doing, they can do that individually or as
Fabulous.
a business. That's great. And it's great to hear so many. This is the thing I like about Bishop Stortford, is there's so many local businesses that seem to be supporting each other and each other's, local charities. It's a real community feel about that. Do you think that's something quite unique about where we live?
I believe so. I really, really do. I must say, I know that Grove Cottage, we are such an amazing charity. What we do speaks for itself. Kind of, we do what it says on the tin, really, when, the sort of our mission statement behind us. It really is. And then every communication I have with businesses, with corporates, with the community, everyone comes back to me with so much love. They really do want to support. And that is, everyone is just so genuine. You mentioned earlier that one of your first interviews was with Adam from Wilmot-on-Lake. And I'll use Adam as an example, actually, because when him and Jack started up their business and they've just had their first birthday, it was just so wonderful just going into Wilmot-on-Lake and sitting down with Adam and Jack, and they literally said, how can we help? What can we do? And that is just amazing. And that's the kind of response I get from businesses. I just last week went in and met Louise, one of the commercial directors at Coat Gearing on South Street. And again, the same thing. I sat down with her. We had a cup of tea, a conversation just like we're having. And she said, how can I help? That is a permanent thread through everyone that I meet in Bishop Stortford. Everyone is just so open and charming and generous.
That's wonderful. Well, that's the whole point of the show, to shine a light on people like you that are going out there and making things happen, but also to celebrate the wider community and how people are coming together. It's fantastic. The more and more people I speak to, the more stories I hear like this. It's great uncovering this. I don't think you need much help though, Mina. You seem as though you're across the town very well. You do your job in it very, very well. I think Grove Cottage are lucky to have you.
Well, thank you. As I say, it really is an easy job because our members are just so amazing. They're so wonderful. I love doing a job where every day I feel fantastic at the end of it. It may be a long day, and some days are obviously tougher, but they say, if you do a job you love, you never work a day in your life. And it is true. And then my most favourite thing is walking down the high street in Bishop Stortford and one of my members just accosts me. Hi, Mina, and gives me a big hug. And I think this is why I'm working for Grove.
Fantastic.
This is what it's all about.
That's awesome. Right. Are you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions?
Go for it.
Fantastic. These are 3 fast questions that we ask every guest that comes on the show, all about Bishop Stortford. I want to give a shout out to a brilliant local business making life better right here in Bishop Stortford. If you've ever felt bored or awkward or unmotivated at the gym, well, you're not alone. Getting fit should feel fun. That's what I love about Vida Wellness Club. Besides yoga, Pilates, they also run friendly, energizing dance sessions like Zumba, Zumba Gold, Broadway Boogie that actually make you want to move. You can book a free session now at vidawellnessclub.com and let them know that the podcast sent you. No pressure, just great vibes and a stronger you. Support your fitness and support local. Right, back to the show. So first question. If you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, What would it say?
So, I've just said I'm always in there. I could start off with, this is my home, because I feel like I live in there, and I do live in there practically. But yes, it would be that Grove Cottage supports people of all ages from birth with learning disabilities and special additional needs. Please help us support our members and their families.
Wonderful. That's good. Great to get the message out there. Jackson Square will do that for you, wouldn't they?
They do it, yes. They're fantastic.
They're great.
They really
Cool.
are.
Secondly, where do you go in Bishop Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
So I was thinking about that, and actually this place I'm going to dedicate to two people that have become great friends. They're fantastic supporters of Grove Cottage, and it's Sophia and Charles at Terrace Park Café and Kitchen. It's just such a wonderful location, isn't it? You can just go out there, sit outside, and it's just, I just love that area of the town, and pretty much I'm there a lot. Again, I also live on Saudersfield pretty much at the bandstand throughout the summer at events. But Sophia and Charles, they're fantastic supporters of Grove Cottage. They bought a brick for us. They allow us to go into the cafe. They will hold member events and things like that. And I just think that's just such a wonderful area of the town that, thanks to the town council and everything has been regenerated, and it just looks amazing. Yeah, I would be very disappointed if I couldn't go to see Sophia and Charles and it would be rammed and I couldn't get in.
But, during the summer, they can expand and expand and expand.
They can expand.
Surely,
It's such a wonderful space.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome. That's a great shout out. And, it's a new business as well. That's
they are fantastic. They really are.
Great. That's fantastic. Thanks, Mina. And last question, who's doing something special in town that more people need to know about?
I often wonder, I know we use social media so much in this day and age, and I see everything because I'm all over it, like you said, all like a rash. But I think that there's so many things that if you're not reading the Bishop Stortford Independent, please, people, do buy the Bishop Stortford Independent, support our local newspaper. If you're not following us on our socials or you're not following local businesses on socials, you may miss a lot. And I don't know if you're going to be interviewing Madeleine and Karen from the BID, Business Improvement District.
They're not on the list yet, but
right. Let me get them on the list.
We'll tag them on this so they hear about us.
Let's get Mads and Karen on here because, the Business Improvement Districts. They are actively trying to raise the profile of our town. I mean, we do have a high profile anyway within Hertfordshire, but trying to really raise the profile as a great retail, tourist and business destination, a town that really offers everything for everyone. So they do great work. And again, they're unsung heroes because they were at the carnival actually this year. In June, they had a stand at the carnival. But I guess the general public or people that may be coming to you, James, and talking to you or listening for your podcast the first time when it's launched, they may not know about the things that they do. So they go out and they get grants to improve the town, which is fantastic. So so they've got my vote. Well, Karen and Mads at the BIDs.
We will tag them in the show so that more people know what BID is up to. And you've given them a great shout out as well. And let's get them on the podcast. I'll let you go and twist their arm.
I will. I'll email them.
Yeah, we'll get them on the podcast so they can explain a little bit more detail about the work that they can do, and we can share it with the community. That's a great shout. Thank you very much for that, Mina. That was awesome. Final question: where's the best place for people to find you online and get involved with the work that you're doing? Last shout out.
So there's a few ways to contact us. The probably the best way, if you want to contact me personally, quite happy to get an email from you. I'm Mina at mencapgrovecottage.org. You'll find my details on the website. Our website is mencapgrovecottage.org. And across social media, Facebook and Instagram, it's at Grove Cottage Mencap. So we're a very small little lean team, but we will respond to you very, very quickly. So if ever you've got any suggestions, we want to hear from people that would love to do fundraising events for us, that would like to volunteer for us. Volunteering for Grove, I must mention this, is super important. We really do run on a volunteer army to help me and Alison, my colleague, with all of our fundraising events. We are literally out every single week, as well as our desk jobs. We rely on a real fundraising army, and obviously volunteering in our clubs with our members as well. So yes, email us about anything that you'd like to get involved in, but the website's a good place to go.
Well, that's a great shout out, and we will link to that on socials and on the show notes for this, so that if anybody's listening to this, they can get in contact about any kind of support that they can give the work that you're doing there.
Fantastic.
Mina, that's your first podcast. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining us today on the
I
Bishop
really
Stortford
enjoyed
Community
it.
Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, James.
No problems. And if you're watching this or listening in, the best way to support this show is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're watching this, and share it on your socials so other people hear more about our community. And as Mina said, if someone you think might be interested in the work that Mina's doing and isn't on social media, get them to listen to it. Share a link with them on your WhatsApp groups. You never know who might be interested in what Mina is doing at Grow Cottage and might be able to support in one way or another. And also, if you got a local legend, just like Mina, that we should feature next on the podcast, drop me a message or tag them in the comments so we can share their story, so we can get their message out to the wider community. That's it from me. Go and support something local today to support our community here in Bishop Stortford. Mina, thanks again for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you, James. Thank you for those listening.
See you later.
Bye.
If you run a business built on trust, but your website's full of stock photos and silence, we need to talk. True Tone Testimonials helps coaches, consultants, and other service providers turn real client stories into high-converting video content. No scripts, no fluff, just honest words from real people who already love what you do. They're professionally filmed and ready to drop onto your site or into your socials. Head to truetonetestimonials.card.co. Let your clients do the selling. Okay, support local. Let's get back to the show.